Hello, this is Ethan Stanks on the iteration 4 of Disc-Emojify. I am going to be doing the final presentation of the bot and the model. First off, we got up here how to use it, so new users can easily figure it out if they can't figure it out. I'm just going to type in !info to get the commands. I'm going to go down the list. I'm going to start with respond. I ate a I'm just going to do stuff that I don't really know if it works and what I know it works. So I haven't tried watermelon before. I ate a watermelon for, I know lunch and dinner work. Let's try breakfast. Does not know watermelon and does not know breakfast. And does not know ate. So that's what it does now if it doesn't know what anything in it. So let's try I ate a watermelon for lunch. So it knows lunch, and I believe it knows dinner. Yes. Alright, let's get multiple emojis popping up. The classic, of course, is what started this project out, is the man went fishing. This is my original idea, and I'm glad that one works perfectly. Let's go ahead and say I had yummy sushi, but it smelled. Let's try that. Okay, yummy sushi and a nose for smelled. Let's go ahead and switch it up to replace. Now replacing emojis. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's do the exact one. I had yummy sushi, but it smelled. Yummy sushi, but it smelled perfect. Let's try something else. The police couldn't stop the villain, but the hero was able to. So, stop is a steak. Perfect. He got hero, doesn't know what villain is, and Abel is a nerd. Interesting. I believe it knows. Is it super villain? Is that what it is? Yeah, okay. So it doesn't know villain, but knows super villain. And let's do one more for this one. The car needed to be worked on by a mechanic. Let's try that. So it looks like car is also mechanic. So we had two mechanics in this one. Interesting. Let's go ahead and switch over to React. And for this one, let's do, man, I love potatoes. Man, love potato. Good. What's another one I know that works? I think a dog and a Santa. But so let's do I love Halloween over Christmas, but Christmas beats Thanksgiving. So we got some holidays in there. These are the only 3 holidays I put. I guess I could have did Easter with the little bunny, but I just thought about that now. Now I'm going to go and do the stop command because I don't want it to do anything else. Please stop. And it doesn't do anything. Good. And I'll go ahead and kill it. This Emojify is now offline. I am going to start it back up. I just forgot that I want to do one more thing to show you. So while this runs back, I'm going to do the code review. So what was added this week? I believe, let me go through the bot. I don't know exactly, I forget exactly what I did this week. But how the bot works, I'll just go through the entire code base again because this is the last one. The bot will go through and do the model stuff, so it gets the model already. Then it's going to go through and set all the command events. So we have info, kill, stop, respond, replace, react. It will do the on-message event handling, and that's what it does for the react, replace, and respond. Pretty much pretty much respond and replace are the same. Just replace has a little extra logic in it for going through and replacing words in the sentences. React does its own thing and has to use the actual Unicode emojis, so it has an extra file for getting those Unicodes. And then this week I did add this. I added on command errors handling, so if there's any errors with the commands, it will handle it, and that's what I want to show you now. So when this boots back up, I'll show that. Model. I went through, I removed all the dropouts and learning rates because this wasn't needed in this case. I added if statements for if you want to graph and if you don't want to graph, so you save a little time. You go through the data prep, opens the data, maps emojis to ints, creates two graphs, which I believe is this one and this one. Then it goes through, turns all the descriptions into numbers that the model can read, because machines don't know English, they know numbers, zeros and ones. It goes through and trains, pretty much taking all those numbers and splits them up into train and test. So there's the inputs and there's the outputs, so it makes two splits for each one. We got to go through and we got to convert the outputs to integers, so the model can actually make predictions. You can't make a prediction based off words. We go ahead, we can make our model. Then we go ahead, we compile the model and we fit it with the training data. So we make the model, and this is where the actual training takes place in this function right here. We do a little model validation, seeing how well it performs with the mean absolute error. When we make a prediction, we pass in the message. We strip it down to make sure there's no capitalizations or spaces or white space. We get all the keywords in a list. We then make a dictionary with that list, and for each keyword we map it to a emoji, and we go through and we return that. So that is the code review. Now for this on command error stuff, I'll go ahead and it's back online. So I'm just going to do a wrong command. Let's say I spell reaction wrong. I'll put an S in the end, reactions. Let's say invalid command, use info, to see the list of commands. Missing requirement arguments. We don't really have any emojis we don't have any commands that take arguments, but in case future development does, I added that in. And before the kill command handled if the user didn't have permission to use it because you need to be an administrator, I switched it to be inside the on command error because it's a better place to have it. I read online, so I have that there instead. That is the code review. Let me move on to Trello. Trello board is the same as last week. What was done this week was attempting to add more word descriptions for each emoji. Now, what that entails was, this is the data we are currently using and that I am still using. As you can see, I added some emojis, some extra descriptions on these emojis. But what I did, went through and added it to about, I'd say about 80 of them. because some of these don't really need any extras. They're all like small emojis. But like these ones that have these faces, like a kissing heart or a kiss, I pretty much just went through and took all the sentiments off Google and put them in. Now, what that did for the bot itself was make the bot a lot worse at performing. It would probably guess the correct emoji 50% of the time. And I tried messing with the hyperparameters of the model to get it to work around all these extra descriptions, and I just couldn't get it. So I switched back because I knew the original worked better with words that I already know. GitHub commits. We got a commit from today, and we got 2 commits on the 16th. So 2 days of commits, but 3 commits total. And for our self-reflection, I'll just go ahead and open this back up. What do you want to continue doing that worked well? Trial and error seems to have worked well as planned. Knowing what I want done, then setting things up to see if the feature will work or not, but also being able to revert back if it doesn't go according to plan. What do you want to stop doing that is slowing/stopping production? Since this is the last video, there isn't really much to do. I say moving forward, it would have to be training the model, as when I make changes to the data, I have to tweak it a little. I just want to do something a little funny here. What do you want to start doing that you think would improve production? Well, to me, the project is finished. And with that being said, if I had another month, I'd look into hosting online. This would mean that the model is already trained and the bot is online 24/7. This would improve production as I no longer have to wait for the model to train itself, and I would always be able to access the bot at any time, even when my computer is turned off. What went right and why? Overall, this project went well. I had 1 month scope where I had to develop a Discord bot, which I haven't done in years, as well as creating a small LSTM model, which is something I have never done before at all. So it was a big learning curve going from predicting quantitative and classification data to predicting emojis from sentences. What went wrong and why? It would have been nice for the model to predict words it didn't know, but I believe that's due to the data I created. To me, the model works near perfect for words it has seen before, but for words it has no idea exist, it doesn't do anything for. My guess as to why this happened is due to how the data is. If I didn't go for so many emojis, and I went for about over 700, I could have trained the model on a smaller amount, but with more instances of those emojis in the data. Maybe making it better for the model to understand new words. How can I use my experiences this week to make my future development smoother? For my next projects, I need to make sure my data is good from the start. Every week, hours are spent messing with data in some sort of way. Less time spent on data means more time spent engineering the model. Thank you, and I was so glad to be able to create this project, and I will see you in my next development. Goodbye.